So in the yesterday's session, we are having a demo that we have covered what is the evaluation path of the Fusion, like when it got evolved and when it launched into the market. And also we have discussed the difference between on-premise versus cloud deployment options. And then we have seen the difference between SaaS model, PaaS and IaaS models. And then how many modules that this particular application is having, we have seen. So today, let's start with the configuration part of the application. So first, as I told you, as this application is a cloud-based platform, once any client or customer subscribe the license from Oracle, they will be provided with this particular URL. We will call this as instance or environment or POD, nothing but platform on demand. We will call this as instance, environment or platform on demand. So they will get this URL link with the user ID and the password. So we have to give the username and the password here and then click on sign in. Then you will be logged in into the application. So this is the username which I gave and then password. And then I'm logging in into the system. So this will be the home screen for the application. Once you logged in, you will be redirecting to this home screen of the application. And here, this particular area we will call as Springboard, where all the functional items will be there. We will call it as Springboard. So now, if you click on My Client Groups, you will be able to see certain tasks which you can perform under this functional area. And like that, for every particular functional area, there will be certain tasks under that. So My Client Groups is the place which is concerned to our HCM thing, where we are going to see the configurations related to HCM, like absence management configuration will be here, and the goals, performance, talent review configurations will be here. And if any global HR related things like jobs, locations, grades and department, we are going to configure here in this area. So in the left side, the three rows which you are seeing here, we will call this as navigator. Once you click on this navigator, you can see the same functional areas which you are seeing on the Springboard. See again, My Client Groups, Me, procurement services. So whatever you are seeing here in the horizontal way on the main screen, the same tasks will be available in the navigator here. So directly you can choose from here, or else from the navigator also you can go through the tasks, right? So this is the Springboard and this is the navigation. And here you are seeing some quick actions here, left side. What is this quick actions? So let's suppose now I am under My Client Groups functional area. And then here, new person is an option where I can hire a person into the system. So here, these all are the quick actions within this new person. If I click on new person, I will get some option to hire an employee. Like, see this, hire an employee, add a contingent or add a pending. These are all the subtasks under that new person task, right? After clicking the new person, again I am having some subtasks under this. So quick actions are nothing but that subtasks within this particular main task. So directly add contingent worker you have seen in new person. Rather going into this directly you can click on this if you want to use that functionality. This is the quick actions option available on the main Springboard. And then here, this is the search option where you can search for any people in the system, I mean the employees in the system, or any tasks you want to configure, you can search here. Let's suppose I want to configure a job. So even tasks also I can search. like manage job, or any person you want to search. So you can search for the person name and then you can get into their details. So see, I searched for the person and then I went into her details. And here, this will be the home button. Wherever you are in, the moment you click this home button, you will be redirected to the main screen. This is a general home screen option, which you will be seeing at any functionality outside also. And here the bell icon, which you are seeing, any notifications as a user that I receive, that will be shown up here. So let's suppose I am a manager and my subordinate applied a leave. So I should be triggered with some notification, right? So in my user login, I can see all my notifications here in this bell icon, where I can have the accept and reject options. By clicking here, the response of mine, that particular leave will be accepted of that employee. If I'm rejecting here, then that leave will be not accepted, it will be lapsed. But right now, for my particular user login, I'm not having that type of what I have to say, notifications. Just for your information, notifications. Like some employee is hired in the system, so I got the notification like this, like that. So whatever the workflows and approvals kind of thing, I mean the notifications, any approvals related things, you will be getting in this particular bell icon, right? And here, this will be the your personal user account, that is the user account which I logged in, HCM underscore IMPL. This is my user account through which I logged in. And here is the settings and action of this particular user ID, settings and actions. So here there will be personalization respective to this particular user account we can do. Like if I click on accessibility settings, I can change the mode of that. Right now it is in the default mode, how the application we are seeing. If you want to change to screen reader, we can change. And the color contrast, we can change. And the font size which you are seeing on the screen, you want to increase. These aspects we can control in the general preferences. And you can click on save, that respective changes will be reflected in the system. But here, whatever the configurations, whatever the changes you are doing, that changes will not impact to entire application. Only to the specific user look and feel will be changing. And then set preferences. Here you can configure certain things related to general preferences. That is here, if you click on the regional, you can change the country, the date format, time format kind of thing, the currency, time zone, you can change here for respective to this particular user. So if you want to change the time format, if you want to change it to 24 hours like that, or what is that, you can have that respective changes here in the general preferences. But here we have to keep it in mind one thing. When you are changing the date format and time formats, we have to be clear, because in the system, there will be certain processes which we will be running. It might be a report or it might be extracts or anything. In that building of the report, using a queries, you might be using a format for time and date to pull the information. At that time, if your system format and date is not syncing up with that report formats which we have given, it will throw up the error. So be sure, usually entire organization will maintain one format only. That will be the preferable one. And then you can click on save and close to get that changes affected to your particular user. And then in the language section, you can also choose the multi-language here. Like if you go to some clients in Middle East, people ask for their own language to be shown on the screen. I mean, every task name should be on their own respective language. If in Middle East people expect the Arabic language, where they want to have all the applications name, I mean all the tasks named with their Arabic language. So if you want, you can give their own respective legislative languages here. Oracle supports all the multi languages for the application. You can choose the language which you require, and then click on save and close. That will be reflected. And here accessibility. Again, what is accessibility? We have seen this accessibility in this particular section only. Accessibility settings. The same settings, it will be available here also. You can go either here or from here. And the password. So here you can reset your password of this particular application. Current password is what, and the new password, and confirm the new password. So these all are the settings respective to the individual user, the general settings we can say. And these proxies, watch list, these kinds of, I mean, proxies is not required. That will be some other technical aspects will be included. And then this financial cloud, service, knowledge, and sales cloud, these are not related to the HCM part. This is related to financial module, and this is again the CRM module kind of thing. So only these general preferences from our side we can control on our own. And then I'm clicking on home, so it will be redirected to the main screen. Right? It has been redirected to the main screen. So here, today we are going to see how to create the user account and how to add the roles to your user account we will see. So this is the first thing which we have to do after logging into the system. Because as I told you, the security in the Fusion application purely based on roles. Now I logged in with this user account HCM_IMP. So I'm able to see different functional areas here. I'm able to see the sales, service, me, procurement, my client group, help desk. There are different things which I'm able to see, the payroll. But let's suppose I'm a HR employee in the organization. Why should I see this sales and services? This is not related to HCM. This is something related to CRM module. And procurement also I'm able to see. That is related to projects, I mean supply chain module. Why I'm able to see means, for this particular user, I have assigned all the roles. I have assigned the functional roles. I have assigned the financial roles. I have assigned the HCM roles. And then I have assigned the SCM, PPM, every roles I have assigned. So that's why this particular user able to see all the functional areas available. But if I am attaching only the HR related role to this employee, then he will not be shown all these functional areas. Only this my client groups and about me and this some help desk, these areas he can see. Rest of the things he not be able to see here. So what is the point here means, depends upon the role that we are assigning to the user, that particular user will get access to the screen, right? Now, let's suppose in my client company, HR hired an employee, let's suppose, as a trainee, which is again a HR trainee, let's suppose. What should I do after hiring that employee? I have to create the user account and password to the employee. And then what is his work there? I recruited him as HR trainee. His job will be what? He is responsible of managing the employee assignments, hiring of the employees, or transferring the employees, or applying the absences of the employees, all these things. So how should that employee will get access to that screens? So what HR or anyone in the HR will do in the organization means, once employee hired in the system means, his user account and password will be created, and then the HR related roles will be assigned to that user account. So when employee logged in into the system with his user ID and password, then he will able to get access to that functional areas which are related to HR, like this, my client groups, about me, help desk. He will not able to see all these areas which I am seeing right now, the benefits administration, contract, order, receivables. I will not be able to see. Only the limited access will be given to them. So now I will show you how to create the user account and how to attach the roles to that user account. And we will sign in from that user which we created to have the difference of field, how the access of that employee is coming up with this HCM_IMP, right? So the functional area where the security administration in the Fusion is, we will call it as security console. In EBS, we used to build the security on, what I have to say, we are having the concept of responsibility, and we used to build the security in the identity management, IDM. But whereas in the Fusion, we used to tackle entire security administration in the system through security console. There is a functional area like my client groups called security console. In the left side, in the navigator, if I click, here we will be having the option called tools. Under tools, we will have security console. So this particular area which we will use for configuring the security related things in the application. Click on this security console, and then here you can able to create the user accounts and attach the roles to the user account. So how to create the user account? So before creating the user account, let me explain you about the roles. What are meant by roles in this system? So we are having 4 types of roles in the system, that is job role, data role, right? And then duty role, abstract roles. Okay, we are having 4 types of roles in the Fusion application. One is job role, data role, and the duty and the abstract role. Job roles are the predefined Oracle delivered roles. Predefined Oracle delivered roles. Like example, human resource manager role, or human resource specialist, or payroll administrator role, like that. So for each and every functionality to get access, Oracle itself is providing the predefined job roles. There are different roles in the HCM module itself, which will be giving access to certain functional areas. One is like HR manager role, human resource manager, human resource specialist, payroll administrator, payroll manager, etc. like that. So job roles, as I told you, predefined Oracle delivered roles. But whereas data roles, the name itself telling each role will contain certain data in that. Why these data roles are important in the system means, when we hire an employee in the system, let's suppose I am implementing a project for, let's suppose, a Reliance Industries. Assume I'm implementing this Fusion application for Reliance Industries. That Reliance Industries is having 2 companies called Reliance Retail Private Limited and Reliance Infra Private Limited. 2 companies are there. Now, the HR in the Reliance Infra able to see the employees of only Infra, that particular company, but not the Reliance Retail employees. So I have to restrict his access to only to that particular company only, not to every company. So here in the data roles, we used to create our own custom roles by using these predefined job roles, and we will attach some security profiles to our data roles, right? This concept just as a high level we are seeing here, but when we started the security administration classes, then we will discuss in detail and we will see how the transactions will happen, like how to create a job data role by using this seeded job role kind of thing. So data roles are the custom roles which we will be creating as per our requirement by using this seeded job roles, right? And coming to the duty roles, what is meant by duty role? Human resource manager role, if I assign to any employee, what kind of access he will get in that system, what he can do. So what kind of duties he can do with HR manager role. So these are the duties which he can do. If I attach that human resource manager role, he will get access to my client groups. The duties will be what? He can hire the persons and he can search for the people here and he can see the absences related thing. These are all the duties which he can perform by having that role attached to him, right? So duties are nothing but the kind of actions that he can perform, the kind of work that he can perform by having these particular roles attached to him. The duty roles are sub parts of this job roles. And then abstract roles. We are having three types of abstract roles, that is employee, line manager, and contingent worker. Then contingent worker. We are having three types of abstract roles in the system: employee role, line manager, and a contingent worker. So these are predefined by Oracle itself. Again, we no need to create any abstract roles. The only thing is, when we hire any employee in the system, by default, this employee role will attach to him by default, where he get access to minimal things like about me, where he can see his own personal information, right? And his own absence related things or payroll related things of personal about me kind of thing. And then line manager. When you hiring an employee, if you hire that employee in the manager cadre, then automatically this line manager role will assign to that employee by default. So abstract roles, we no need to attach to the employee manually. By default, when we hiring the person, these roles will get auto provision to the user accounts. And then contingent worker also, we are having one concept called contingent worker, which is a contract kind of employee in our organization. If we hire that person in the system, then this role will be attached to the employee. So these are the types of roles that are available in the system. Now we will see how to create the user account and how to attach the rules. Come to tools, click on security console, and here come to users first, and here we will have the option add user account. So click on add user account, and here you can create the user account for the employee. But this is the manual way of creating the user accounts. In regular scenarios, let's suppose today 50 employees are hired in the organization. It's not easy for a HR to come here for every 50 employees, go to tools, security console, and creating the 50 user accounts. This is an automated process which is available in the system. When we hiring the employee, automatically the user account will be created to the person. When we hiring, we will be providing his email address, everything in the system, right? So whatever the email we are providing to the person during the time of hire the system, to that email, the user account will be created automatically and it will be sent. So he can click on that URL in that mail which he received, to create the password for his user account, and he can create one password and he can log in into the system. That is a regular functionality. But here I'm showing you the second way, how to attach manually the user, how to create user account manually. But now when we go on to the client for implementation, client will create the user accounts for all our consultants and he will share with us in order to configure the system. So the same way he has to go, right? Security console, users, and then add user account. So give the first name, last name. I'm giving it as, right? And the email you can specify, and then the username trio.tech, and the password I'm giving it as password here I give, and then I'm confirming the new password here, right? And then click on add rules. After giving the first name, last name, email of that employee, the username came up with the combination of first name and last name. I have not given this, it got synchronized automatically. Username and first name and last name of the employee has synchronized here. And the password, confirm password I have given. And the user default, user category, you are seeing it as default. Just remember this one, I will cover here in this user category. What is this functionality of user category? Default. And here see associated person information. We will be having two options. One is none and one is worker. If we are going to create a user account for the administrator kind of thing, nothing but he is not an employee in any of the client's organizations. Let's suppose for us, if client is creating as an administrator role for configuring the system, we will keep the associated person type as none. But if you are creating a user account for employee of the client, for any employee you are creating, then we have to keep it as worker. See, the moment I keep it as worker, here it will ask me to search for the person because already person hired in the system. So if you search here, I can search the person, I can select that person here, and I can create the user account for the person. But whereas if we using the person type as none, it means this user is not an employee of any client's organization in the system. He is the administrator user, consultant user. Yesterday we discussed the difference between end and consultant users. So we have to keep it as none. And account information, how to keep it active. If you keep it as locked, then this person cannot log in into the system with his user ID and password. It will not allow. So we have to keep it as active. And here the concept of rules. So here we are going to add the rules to this particular user. Then only he will get access to the functional areas on the screens. So click on add role, and here I am attaching employee. So I searched with employee role. So remember how many roles you are getting here. Just you have to concentrate only the code starting with ORA. That is the Oracle seeded delivered rules. Rest of the rules, whatever you are seeing, they were created some customly because as this is a demo instance, multiple people are practicing. They have copied the seeded rules and creating multiple custom rules. But just remember the code starting with ORA we have to select. So I selected that employee and I'm clicking on add role membership, right? And then just I'm adding an employee role, right? And then I will click on save and close. So now the user account for this individual is created. You can search for it whether that is created or not. So I'm giving with this, right? For this particular user, account is created and then the role is also attached. Here in the actions, you can lock his account. I mean, if you want to make him inactive, then if you click on lock account, this account will be locked. If I try to log in with my user ID and a password, then it will not allow me to log in because you are locked by the administrator. And reset password, manual resetting of the password. But individual level we have seen. Here it is there, the settings and actions. But as a administrator, if I want to reset his password, then I can reset his password from here and then delete. This account will be deleted from the system. So now we will see, we'll log in with this user and we'll see what are the access we received on the screens. So with this particular HCM IMPL, I have seen many functional areas available here. My client groups, me, everything. So see, now I will sign out from this user account and I will try to sign with the user which we created now. So this is the user account which we created. So now see, as I logged in with this user, what are the access I'm getting here? Only about me and some procurement related things, the two limited, and then under tools also limited, under then this. But whereas when I logged in with HCM underscore IMPL, I have seen many functional areas available. This is what the roles will play in the Fusion application. What type of role we are attaching to the employee, he will get access to those set of functional areas. So each set of role is provisioned with certain duty and aggregate privileges. Nothing but the accessible things. Duty roles I specified, right? Those are. So now we will get back to our regular administrative login ID, and then we will add much more roles to this user account and we will see. So right now I came back with this HCM underscore IMPL where I have access to all the things. So I'm going to Navigator and then I'm going to Tools, Security Console. And then now we will see, here we have seen how to create the user account. This roles concept, how to create the custom roles, everything we will see at the later point. Once we complete the global HR, then we can start these things. Because we can understand by that time which role is required for which access. And then in the analytics tab, we can see in this particular application, okay, how many types of roles are created. Under administrative category, 9 roles are available. Under aggregate privilege, 657 roles. And then like common duty roles are 39. It is just in the system how many roles were created and are available in the system we can see. In the pie chart, you can see that how many are there with these color notions. But this is just for informative. Nowhere we will be using this functionality and the certificates as well. But here, user categories is something important. Default is the one which we give, right? When we are creating the user account, here the default we give, the user category. What is this? My clients having a requirement that stating, if employee joined in the organization, user ID and password is created, fine. But that password, every 3 months, the password should expire. A new password has to be triggered, or else the password length should be this much, or kind of complexity, how it should be, characters kind of thing. You want to configure those things. Or if the expiry time is coming, every 10 days, the notification should trigger to the employee stating that it's getting expired. Or else right now for default, username is the combination of first name and last name. But my client is asking username should be employee mail ID, not the first name and last name. How to configure these things? As we keeping default, it is taking up directly the username as first name and last name. And the password also, whatever I am giving, it is allowing. But I want to change this. So in that case, what we have to do, we can go to user categories. We can go to user categories and we can define here. In this default only, if you want to manipulate, you can manipulate. Click on edit. And here see, these two things are not required here. Username generation rule. Right now, it is kept as first name dot last name. That is why it is taking up this first name and last name. If I keep it as email, then person employee email will be taken as that user account or last name only, or person or party number, nothing but employee ID if you want. So you can choose, you can keep that functionality here. And generation system username when generation rule fails, when this will be workable. Let's suppose you are going with first name and last name. There is a person called Ramesh Kumar, let's assume, got hired in the organization. And then Ramesh.Kumar is the username came to this person. As I told you, in regular time, user account will be created automatically by the system. And again, after a month, one more employee with the same name, Ramesh Kumar, joined in the organization. But for that person also, first name and last name is Ramesh Kumar. Already one person is there in the system. In that case, what should be the scenario? Will system create with the same user account? Ideally, no, because already that is there with one person. So here, generate system username when generation rule fails. So system will not consider that first name and last name. It will find out the availability of that and it will create kind of thing. Okay. If I uncheck this one, if that possibility cases are coming up, then system will not create user account. We have to go to individual again to security console. We have to create manually that user accounts. So those are exceptional cases. We cannot say anything. So save and close. And then here we will have password policy. So click on edit. So see here, days before password expiration, 90, 3 months I'm giving. And the days before password expiry warning, 80 days. It means from 10 days before it start triggering the notification, stating that change the password kind of thing. And hours before password reset token expiration, even 4 hours before it's going to expire then also. And here the password complexity. As it is simple now, it allowed me as I gave welcome 1, 2, 3. But if I'm giving it as complex, at least 8 characters, 1 uppercase, 1 number, you can choose this combination of complexity to create the password in your organization. And then disallow last password. We know this one. I mean, if I'm trying to create a new password after 3 months, it will not allow the old passwords. Anytime else, if you use that old password already, you cannot use the same password again. That functionality we can set up here. And then administrator can manually reset the password. This we have to keep it as yes, because as a HR administrator, you should have all the rights to do to that particular user account. If I uncheck this one, that employee, I cannot reset the password. If I checkbox this one, then only I can reset the password. So here, this is the password policy and then notifications. So if you want to enable these notifications, you can enable. So these are all the templates like username, like welcome email, like when you hired in the organization, as I told you, user account will be created and it will be triggered to your mail to reset the password. Then what should be the message shown up to you? Like this, dear person, like that, congratulations, your team member has been created successfully, account has been created for your team member, like that. For a manager template it is. So for every notification, the predefined templates are there. Usually we will not touch any of this. Just I want to show you where the notification preferences are there. If I uncheck this one, employee will not be notified with anything. Though the user account is created, he will not trigger any mail. So we have to keep notification preferences as enable, then only that employee will trigger with the mail stating that welcome to so and so, and then your email, your account for the application has been created. Please reset the password through this link. Like that, he will get the mail. And here, if you click on users, you can see the total user accounts in this particular application. Right? These are all the employees that are there in this particular application, you can see. So this is what the user category. If why this fun user is there means this is not given by Oracle. Default is predefined by Oracle. But see here it is allowing me to delete. The cross symbol is there for this. But whereas for default, it is not there. Because this is created by someone like us, the custom group. So that's why when I'm trying to create the user account under user category, I'm seeing both these options. So when you will go for creating the custom category means sometimes client have a requirement stating that, right? For one set of company, two companies are there with me as Reliance Infra Private and Reliance Retail Private. Client is telling for Reliance Infra Private Limited, I want this type of requirement, like person only last name should be considered, and the password policy is last 30 days it should trigger, like that. And for Reliance Retail, the condition is different. There you want to maintain the person number for the user account creation. So what I will do, I can create my own custom user category, and then I can hire that employees under that user accounts. When I'm creating, I can choose that category for that respective employees. So whatever the conditions we specified in these, the policies of password or the creation of these usernames, that will be reflected to that respective people. So this is what the user category. And then this single sign-on functionality and administrative, these are something, I mean, single sign-on is not related to our particular part. I mean, this is something technicality is involved, where SSO, what kind of VPN we can include in that kind of thing. We are not going to see these aspects. So user creation and then user categories. And the roles, as I told, we will see once the security classes we are going to take up. How to create a custom roles, how to add the security profiles to that roles we are going to see. Now, as a consultant implementers, now once I shared this instance to you for start practicing the application, we have to have some set of roles which we have to assign to your user accounts. So here typically there are two categories. One are administrative roles, and then second are end user roles. If you want to configure the system, I mean, as a consultant, we are going to implement all these modules to the client, like global HR, absence, payroll, talent, everything. We should be assigned with certain roles that are application, implementation, consultant role, then application, implementation, administrator, and then application, implementation, manager. So these roles are required for our user accounts in order to start implementing the application. These are the implementation roles or administrative roles. And coming to the end users, the roles will be like human resource manager or human resource specialist, payroll manager, and then payroll administrator, etc. So these are the administrative or the implementation roles, and these are the end user roles. Nothing but as a consultant, if you want to start implement the system, once after creating the user accounts of yours, we have to get assigned with these particular roles, because our configuration in the system will start with this setup and maintenance. In the tomorrow session, we are going to start our configurations with this setup and maintenance. But in order to get access to this setup and maintenance, I required these set of roles assigned to my user account, right? And for employees who are in the client's place, I mean the end users, they have to be assigned with these set of roles as per their job. With the HR trainee or HR executive, then they will be assigned with these roles. Or in that client place, the person is responsible for processing the salary. If he's a payroll admin kind of thing, then we will give these particular roles to the employee. So what you will be doing now is create your own user accounts, right? And then assign the roles which I specified in these notes. Assign these roles to your user account. So you can start accessing the system and for the configuration part. You can assign these roles also for you. There is not restriction, but these are mandatory rules in order to get access to this setup and maintenance. Okay. So what I will do, I will add the roles to this user account only, and we will see from the front end. So edit, here click on add role, and I am adding application implementation administrator. So as I told, which role we have to pick up? The code starting with ORA. Remember this thing, ORA, and then click on add role membership. And then application implementation consultant, and again the ORA one, and don't copy use this one also at the last. If you find anything as copy, don't neglect this one and just copy the regular one. Click on add role membership, and then administrator consultant manager. Then I'm adding human resource manager also. Resource manager, right? And then done. Save and close. So I created my user account, and I added my respective roles to my user account. Now I will log in from the trio.tech user account, and we will see what access I got. Earlier when we logged in, we have seen only some me procurement and some other 2 or 3 tasks. But now we will see how many functional area access I will be getting to my user account. Right. So right. Okay. See now, as I added roles to my user account, see the access has been increased now. I'm able to access my client groups, and then I'm able to access these other aspects also. The tools I'm getting access now, everything. And even in the right side, I'm getting access to my setup and maintenance. Because in order to get these setup and maintenance access, we have to attach these respective roles to the user account. And now, in order to create this user account, where I have went to navigator, and then I have clicked on tools, Under this, I have went to security console, right, for creating the user account. But for this particular user, I am not able to see that security console under tools. But whereas with HCM_IMPL, when I logged in, I can see the security console option here under tools, but not with this user account. So here there is one super administrative role, which is a important thing, that is IT security manager role. Until and unless this role is attached to my user account, I will not get access to that security console. In the Fusion application, if you want to get access to security console, then your account has to be assigned with that IT security manager role, right? This is the administrative role. Now, if I go back and attach the IT security manager role to this user account, then I can see the security console option there, right? So now I'm logging back with the regular user account which we are using. And now if I use this HCM_IMPL and if I go to tools, now I'm able to see the security console. So add the IT security manager role to your user accounts to create the multiple accounts. If you have access to security console, then only you can add multiple user accounts, create the user accounts like that. Or if you want to work on roles, anything, then you have to have that access. Here add role, and then I'm adding IT security manager, ORA role. And then add role membership. So if you want to remove any roles after assigning to the person, if you want to not to give access to other functional areas, if you want to stop, then you can select the role, click on this cross symbol. So this role will be deleted from this user account, right? This auto provision rules, what is this concept? Everything I will explain you once we started with this roles concept in the security classes. Okay. Right now, my intention is to show you how to create the user accounts and how to attach the roles to that and how we will get access to the screens I want to show. Now I added IT security manager role to my user account. And then I will come back and I will try to sign in with the user account which we created. And now see under tools, I will be able to see that security console option here, right? So come to navigator, come to tools, and now see the security console came to me. So I can go to this and I can create multiple user accounts and add multiple roles to my user account. So this is what the high level security in the Fusion application. The roles based access control we will call. Whatever the roles we are having, that access will be provisioned to us. So that's all for today. The tomorrow's session, we will start with creating the implementation project. How to create the project and how to enable the offerings to our project and how to start the configurations. Our entire course will be guided through this spreadsheet which I am showing here. Every module we have kept the tasks that we are going to configure in a sequential order. If you are going for an implementation, what should be the sequence you are going to follow for configuring the global HR module? So all the modules have kept here. First, we will be covering the configuration part. As a consultant, how we are configuring the system as per the client requirement. And then for each module, we are going to see the end user transactions also. By configuring this, how the HR people in the client side going to utilize this application, like how the hiring will happen, how the terminations will happen, how the demotions or transfers will happen, etc. like this. So each and every module we are going to cover on the same pace. The absence management, like what we are going to cover. The payroll management, what are the configurations, everything. So in tomorrow's session, we will start with the creation of implementation project, and we will see the enterprise structure in the Fusion application. What is the organization structure in the Fusion application, right? So any doubts in today's session, you can ask me. Hello. Yeah, anyone is having any doubts in today's session? Kumar, Ajay, Devraj, Divakar, Manoj. You can unmute yourself. I think if anyone wants trying to tell. Yeah.
No, Kumar, I think, yeah, fine. So the tool which we are showing, which you are showing to us, so this is only for assigning the roles and user accounts, or is it, entirely managing the user accounts?
No, you're talking about the security console?
No, the complete tool.
No, this is the entire application.
This is the entire application.
Yes, in that security console is one part where it will be talking about the creation of user accounts and rules.
Okay.
This will be the entire application.
So by using this application, we will implement the new clients. We will create the new clients, and we will implement their project details.
Correct. So this is the application which client will be using. So in this application only, we are going to configure entire his companies, his departments, jobs, all these things.
Okay. Okay, understand.
Yeah. And then anyone else?
Yeah, Kumar.
Yeah, Divakar is
Yeah. What is the major difference between the job role and abstract role? Both look like both are the same, similar.
See,
what is the major difference?
See, job roles are the predefined roles, but these roles will not be auto-assigned to the employees. As a administrator, we have to assign to the employee. But whereas these abstract roles, by default, if you are hiring an employee, these will get auto-provision. And line manager also same. But these roles are giving access to specific functionalities in the system. But these are restricted to their own. And line manager means he will get access to my team under his subordinates who are there like that. But here with these roles, I'm getting access to the HR related tasks. With payroll, I'm getting the payroll related access kind of thing like that.
They're accessible to everything on the tool, is it?
Sorry?
They're accessible to handle anything on the tool?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They used to create abstract roles like employee, line manager. Like
no, these roles, we no need to create those roles, but these roles, what we will do is job roles are predefined, but we will not assign the job roles directly to the employees. We are going to create the custom data roles by using these job roles. We will copy this seeded one and we will create the custom data roles and we will assign these roles to the employees.
Okay.
But these are the preference, we can say, whatever to say, routes for the creation of our custom routes.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So Ajay is one, Ajay, any doubts you are having? Okay, then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time, 6:30. Okay, guys, thank you everyone for joining today.
Yeah, thank you, Kumar.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kumar.